Kubor ka Batisi TV. Lawan Rashapi da ka Frank Motors. I am Tata Punch. Price starting at 5.80 lakhs. Ringkat bat ka net foodish. Ordar mapi nginwan ra amangi hakir dobyeng jongpi.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Reply to start question 29. Sir, the project for construction of Shillong Medical College is under active consideration. The government is exploring to new modalities of implementation, including better terms of PPP and the possibility of seeking support from DEA, Niti Aayog, Government of India.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for replying made by Honorable Minister. What I want exactly, the question which I had put forth asking about the present status of the medical college at Mauba TB Hospital, Shillong. May I get a specific status about this?
Sir, I think what the Honourable Member is referring to is the fact that at one point of time, the location at Mauba TB Hospital, that's the RP Chest Hospital, was under active consideration to be the site where we would have the Shillong Medical College. But however, sir, that particular location has a lot of complications. Namely, sir, since the Honourable Member would like to know, so number one is the approach road to that particular site. It's very narrow and would, become a problem in the future. And secondly, sir, it's a very congested area, again, which would also affect the functioning of the medical college. And sir, there are certain guidelines under the NMC which in one way, sir, disqualified this location to be considered for the Shillong Medical College.
Honorable Minister, through you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would like to get more information, like the time when they propose this very project at that very spot. It has been proposed, if not mistaken, way back 2012. Is it correct?
Sir, I'm not aware of when it was proposed, but I can provide the information to the Honourable Member at a later point of time, sir. But if there's any other clarification you would like to know, sir? Seek. Sorry.
No, Honourable Minister, through you, Mr. Speaker, sir. So you know the fact that there is loopholes about that project. After many years, you came to realize. So what make the government realize after a few years back? May I know the reason?
Sir, I don't want to really go back to, pointing fingers at anyone, sir. But I think that as we have moved forward, sir, we have come to realize that this is a very important project, sir, and a much needed project. And if we do a project, something of that scale, which is going to be a matter of prestige for the entire state, I think, sir, that due diligence has to be done. It has to be done in a proper manner, and it has to be done in a manner whereby the project becomes a viable project. And after considering all these things, sir, the government has taken up a lot of steps to ensure that this project sees the light of day, rather than stick to one location or stick to one proposal and not look at how we can make this a better and more viable project. So certain decisions were taken in that line, and which is why this is where we stand right now, sir.
In fact, Mr. Speaker, sir, I don't want to criticize the government, but just imagine, honorable members, we are being sent here by the mandate of the people. This is the need of the hour. This is the need of our youth. This is the benefit, this is going to benefit for the state. Just imagine after 10 years, Honorable Minister has not yet been able to give specific loopholes about that particular areas. May I get more information from Honorable Minister whether the site that we're going to propose this project, whether it will be in the same or maybe you have some other mind?
Sir, as I was mentioning in the course of the supplementary which the Honourable Member asked, that there were many reasons why it was decided that the RP Chest Institute at Moba was not feasible. So, namely because of the congestion in that area, secondly because of the fact that the approach road is very narrow, and thirdly, sir, more importantly, the NMC guidelines are there which were not, so that location was not in compliance to the NMC guidelines. Those were the reasons which I have already explained to the Honourable Member, sir. And as I said, sir, we as a government must look at how the Shillong Medical College, once it is established, becomes a viable project and doesn't become a white elephant and doesn't end up as a loss to the state exchequer. That's why, sir, due diligence is being done to ensure that when we do this project, it is done in a proper manner, sir.
No, I'm very concerned, sir, about this subject. This is a very vital subject. 50 years we had been passing through since the time of inception for state. It is really embarrassed for the state. That's why myself, I did not take part in the celebration of 50th anniversary. Why? Just imagine on the 1st August 2022, this year only, it came out in national paper that around 8,000 seat shortfall around the country. So this is the matter that we need to take serious. So may I know from Honourable Minister, have you already have a plan about the new site of this project?
Yes, sir. I think what the Honourable Member wants to know is whether we are still considering the location at Maumba or not. So my answer is a very categorical no, sir. That area, as I just mentioned, because of these various reasons, it is not under active consideration now. We are looking for an alternative site, and I would like to inform the Honourable Member and also the other members of this August House that the Honourable Chief Minister has been kind to provide us an alternative plot of land which is to the tune of 50 acres. And we are looking at this bigger plot of land so that it can also include not just the hostel facilities, but a 100-bedded hospital or maybe bigger than that, along with the medical college to go along with that project. So it becomes a more comprehensive and holistic project. So that is being taken into consideration, and we are moving forwards in that line. We have, cancelled the PPP which was there earlier with the earlier concessionaire, and we are looking at now, engaging with new parties which can give us a better deal.
Last question.
Last question. Are you sure? Okay.
You've exceeded one.
Okay. I may use words. It is a lackadaisical attitude of the government. Why? Because after 50 years, we have seen establishing of party office, which it is a sole interest for not for the state. I don't have any argument about that, but I just want to get clear information from Honourable Minister whether you are still finding out this new site, or you have had already about this site.
Sir, ad nauseum, I'm repeating myself again, sir, that I already told the Honourable Member just prior to this supplementary answer that we have. Sir, I don't want to go into the past, sir. I think as a state, when we are standing at 50 years, we must look to the future, sir. And when we are looking to the future, all I'm telling the Honourable Member is that we are taking steps. Honourable Chief Minister has allotted 50 acres of land from the new Shillong Township. And we're moving ahead, sir. I don't know, sir, which is completely irrelevant to the question, what he's mentioning about party offices. So that is something that I think, sir, Honorable Speaker can expunge from his statement, sir.
Yeah, my Judge.
So, may I know from the Honourable Minister as to whether the terms of agreement that were laid for the PPP of the Shillong Medical College and that of the Tura Medical College, were there similar terms and conditions laid, sir?
No, sir. The terms were different in nature, sir.
So, if we can have, what were the differences, if that statement can be laid, sir?
So that, in a nutshell, sir, I'd like to inform the Honourable Member. I don't want to go into the nitty-gritties and the details of the changes, of the differences in the project types, sir. But this was a PPP project, sir, the Shillong Medical College, and the Tura Medical College would be a 100% government-run college.
Sir, in reply to 29, question number 29, the government is exploring to new modalities of implementation, including better terms of PPP. So, here, in the reply of the Honourable Minister, he was speaking only about the location. But then, what about the better terms of PPP, sir? What are they that they are looking at?
Mr. Speaker, sir, the question is related to the proposed site at Mombasa. So, in regards to that, I've been replying, sir, that now we are exploring new modalities for implementation, including better terms of the PPP, sir, which is pertaining only specifically to the Shillong Medical College, sir. That's what I meant. So earlier, for the benefit of this August House, sir, there was a concessionaire agreement, an MOU, which was signed between the earlier PPP, that's the private part of the partnership, sir. And those terms, the concessionaire asked for certain changes to that MOU, which the government was not agreeable to, and that's why we have gone ahead and cancelled that MOU. And we are looking at, now that we've wiped the slate clean, we are looking at how we can have better terms of PPP so that we can make this project a more viable project.
Sir, any timeline for that, sir, to ensure that the project becomes viable, sir?
I'm sorry, sir, my headphone was not working at this time.
The timeline for that to ensure that the project becomes viable, sir?
So there's nothing called timeline to make a project viable, but I think what Honourable Member meant was the timeline to operationalize or to commission the project. I think that's what he meant. So that is something that there is a due process, sir. We will be following due process. We are trying to expedite in every possible way. As I said, we have been able to identify the land, which is, I think, one of the biggest hurdles in having a project of this magnitude, to be completed, sir. So, to reply to the Honourable Member, sir, there is, I can't give a specific timeline or deadline, but all I'd like to tell the Honourable Member is that we are working expeditiously, sir.
So, was that yes, sir. Was the disagreement between the PPP partner and the government on the land itself, that they wanted additional land? And if the government had given them additional land, or additional land was already identified for the purpose, why did they have to go for cancellation of the PPP if it was only for the location itself, sir? In spite of the fact that they have already identified 50 acres of new land.
Sir, there were various reasons the concessionaire had asked for changes to the agreement, sir. But yes, maybe the land, not maybe, sir, the land was part of one of the, points of disagreement, sir, that they wanted additional land. The other point was that they wanted, instead of a 30-year lease, they wanted the lease period to be extended to 99 years, sir. And so thirdly, very importantly, which is I think very relevant here, is that they wanted the fee structure to also be changed. They wanted to increase the fees, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Mind interrupt, sir.
This hospital to come up is my constituency. May I know from the Minister in charge, Health, is it the road is the only criteria hurdles which that hospital cannot come out in that area?
Is that the question, sir?
Yeah.
Do I reply, sir? I'm waiting for him to sit down. Okay, sir.
Is your earphone working? You said earphone or ear?
Both, sir.
What? Ear and earphone.
Yes, sir.
Can I replace it?
No, sir, it's okay now, sir. There's a slight glitch, sir.
I can't replace the earphone.
Sir, I understand the sentimentality of the honourable member when he says that it is part of his constituency. But sir, we need to look at it from the entire state's perspective, and we must not be just constituency specific here. And to reply to what the honourable member was asking, sir, that was it only the road? As I mentioned, sir, again I'm repeating myself that there are many other factors. One is also, apart from the fact that the road is narrow, is that that area is congested, sir, and there are other certain guidelines of the NMC which that location was not fitting into, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, what the reply of the Honourable Minister said, it is congested. No doubt it's congested outside, but once you go inside, it has such a huge empty space where a good medical college can come out there, sir. Sir, so I demand, when the foundation stone has been laid there, my request to the government is that the hospital should come there, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I mean, the land may be huge, as the honourable member is saying, but I don't know if he has gone there to see the land, sir. It's uneven terrain, sir. So that makes the project cost go up, because then you have a lot of land development that needs to be factored in. So it's not really a flat land wherein you can just start construction immediately, which would have been very ideal, and we would have then reconsidered the fact that yes, a small impediment like approach road can be reconsidered. But then, sir, there are many factors, sir. So therefore, sir, this present location was not viable, and so we have to look at it from the point of view of establishing a medical college which becomes viable and sustainable and grows on its own, sir, in an organic manner.
Sir, may I get assurance from the government that place, RP Hospital, Chest Hospital, they should come up with no other setup, but only medical facilities should be come up in that area, sir.
Can you repeat the question? Actually, he's saying that there should not be any other.
Sorry?
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Your ear has a problem.
Yes.
See, my request to the government that since that area is meant only for medical facilities, my request to the government and I require that no other facilities can become and set up there except medical establishment.
Yes, sir. I mean, see, sir, for us as a government, there is no other proposal that is, being thought of, which is non-medical in nature for that particular plot of land, sir.
Since 2014, our country has been plagued by divisive forces. TMC is in Meghalaya with the mission to empower the people, uphold the ethnic cultures and traditions, celebrate the sacred land. To oust the proxy BJP government from Meghalaya, be the change, support TMC by calling on 96877 96877.